Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Forex morning update. Today is Tuesday, the 12th of July, and my name is Mark Owen. Okay, so what was meant to be a quiet day in the markets yesterday with relatively little news turned out to be anything of the sort. Basically, we had no major news, but we had revelation that Donald Trump Jr., his meetings with a Russian lawyer, had significant detail in regards to Hillary Clinton and information that they had on her to help impact the potential outcome of the US elections. Now, the way that he conducted himself during the investigation was quite significant in terms of what the detail was, because initially the detail was about Russian adoptions, but then it turns out that the New York Times was about to publish all the emails that were handed over, and it was anything but adoptions. So basically, the Trump family, through their team, managed to get reveal the information prior to the New York Times with about 2 minutes to spare. Straight after this, we saw the S&P drop. We saw the Dow Jones drop about 150 points. We saw the dollar in retreat after starting the day strong. Other markets that had a little bit of a wobble were sterling. Sterling started the day off very strong, and we saw rallies. Unfortunately, it took us out of our short sterling, kept us in our we managed to stay in short sterling Aussie, only for the market to then completely do a U-turn and drop. So that was a little bit unfortunate. Dollar Swiss hit target 1, so that was nice. Stops at break even. But after the news on the US and Donald Trump Jr., we've decided to close pretty much dollar positions. I've banked T1 on New Zealand dollar. I'm leaving the second position in on that. But that's it for what happened yesterday. Now today we've got 9:30 a.m. We've got the average earnings index coming out of sterling. Now this index has had a mixed bag this year. For the first 6 readings, 3 have been in front of forecast and 3 have been behind forecast. Looking at how sterling reacted yesterday onto more Brexit details, I would expect if we miss today, if we're below 1.8, we should see another sharp sell-off in sterling, which obviously is not going to be good for the holiday makers, or holiday goers, I should say. Be costing us a lot more money to go away, that's for sure. And then 3 p.m. we've got the majority of the news coming from the Canadian dollar. We've got the Bank of Canada Monetary Policy Report first off, followed by the rate statement, and then the overnight rate. You can see it's forecast for a 25 basis point increase. This increase, in my opinion, is already priced into the market. I'm saying this, if you look at the market and in terms of Bloomberg statistics on traders, they're seeing about an 80% chance. So therefore, I'm expecting that this is already priced in, and the real news for the Canadian dollar will come out at 4:15 in the press conference where we have the Q&A. And this will be where the details released in regarding to further rate hikes coming from the Bank of Canada. So if you get a chance, tune into any news feed where you can see the press conference. Listen to it live and see if you can pick up on that, because this will give you a clue whether we should be basically buying dips on Canadian dollar, or if they're not going to be doing any future rate hikes, then this is potentially where we think that the Canadian dollar is going to have its correction. Okay, so this will be time to watch. I've got here at 3 p.m. Fed chair lady testifies. Now, I did have a look on another device a moment ago, and this had been removed. So what I'm going to say, guys, is at 3 p.m., because it's on here now, but when I looked a few moments ago, it wasn't. So Fed chair lady Janet Yellen testifies. So this will be significant, especially after all the news in the press recently, what's going on with the Trumps and Russian lawyers, more investigations. and what's going to happen with their rate hikes. So watch out for that. See if it has been postponed or see if it will still be running today. At 3:30 p.m. we've got crude oil inventories. Crude oil is on a little bit of an upward momentum at the moment. We do have a cot extreme long. There's no long signals forming. I'd rather see the market drop a little bit before I go long. And then the other sort of major headline to be taking note of is regarding the Bank of Japan. Today they're set to increase their purchases of the 3-year government bonds, 3 to 5 year government bonds from 300 billion yen to 350 billion yen. Now what's interesting is the yen is strengthening on the back of this, so I really don't think this is taken into account yet. So yesterday's structure high, we've seen the yen basically bounce off structure high, so yen is coming into a correction right now. But we'll watch this market closely because it could be an opportunity to buy yen pairs on a dip, i.e. sell the yen. So just watch out. We will be coming to dollar yen shortly. Well, you can see the impact that yesterday had on the dollar index. When we did the initial morning update, we were seeing a bullish weekly candle, and I did say it could potentially change because it was only Tuesday, I should say. Now look at it, we've got a big bearish candle, potentially taking out the low of last week. So it doesn't look good for the US dollar on this particular chart. Moving over to the euro, I've drawn in what is potentially quite a large blue box, but the reason it's so large is due to these two spikes over to the left. Yes, these were around news announcements, and I've put this arrow here because whatever was still in this little range here, or this trap, there's a very good potential that this market could drop to the downside, especially the way the commercials are positioned in the market. So that little red arrow, a close above the high over there, and then we should see pretty strong bullish momentum for the euro, taking us up quite a way higher. Dollar yen, so this is the structure high we're talking about, in around 114.30 to 114.50. We saw a clear rejection of that yesterday, and then today we've seen the market correct off the back of that resistance level. We are pulling back down lower into the upper trend line. The question is, will we see a rejection of the trend line, or are we going to pull back lower? Just remember, we've got the BOJ doing the government bond buying program. So the question is, if we pull back to that structure, we're going to get a nice little correction, especially through this little area here, 113 sort of 20, where we see all these bodies open and close through there and test the trend line. That should be a nice area to be potentially looking for longs dollar yen. But again, don't just trade long. Wait for a correction. Wait for a rejection. So Kiwi, we've been short Kiwi now for a couple of weeks. We hit target 1 yesterday. Now we're having a little bit of a retracement. We're going to see if it comes up into this blue zone that I've highlighted. If we do, then I'll be looking for a rejection candle or pattern formation, and then we'll be looking to trade it lower down to the bottom of the range that we highlighted earlier in the week. Dollar CAD, well, this is where the major news is today. Be careful because expect high volatility spikes. Watch the news or press conference, I should say. Shorts from 1.3 and 1.32 look a significant area to be getting short, but because of the news, watch price action because we probably get some big swings on this. Sterling, well, can I have a look at a couple of intraday setups here? Marked out a couple of pivot zones. I'm liking the pivot zone itself on sterling and the R1 for shorting opportunities. Do remember that don't just go trade blind off these levels. The reason I say that, we've got news at 9:30, and if you are trading blind off these levels, you're going to have a significant stop because you go put your stop way out of the way above structure. Gold 4-hour chart, well, it's in the zone now for us to potentially sell. I'm looking for short opportunities, even though we do have a commitment of traders at a long signal. I don't think that the extreme is fully there yet, hence I'm not looking for long trades. The time I'll look for long trades is when we get that change of cyclicity, a break of the short-term trend line, a pullback, and a potential inverted head and shoulders to trade this market long. Okay, that's it, guys. That's the morning update done for today. Any questions, please drop them into mark@phoenixblue.co.uk or hit comments on the YouTube video. Don't forget to share this video with friends, family, traders, anyone you think that might find it useful, especially if they're just getting into trading. More emails, guys, on the meetup for traders. Is the 25th of July okay with you? Let us know, and we can confirm and get dates sent out to you. Stay disciplined. Don't trade through crazy news announcements, and we look forward to seeing you bright and early tomorrow morning. Bye bye.